Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of truth and lovers of cosmic wisdom, tonight I stand before you at a very special time, a night where the universe itself whispers to us, where the skies unveil their brightest light, and where energies are heightened beyond measure. The full moon has risen, and with it, the portal is open. This is not merely a poetic statement. It is a truth that has been acknowledged across cultures, religions, and traditions for centuries. The full moon is a symbol of power, clarity, illumination, and transformation. It magnifies energies, it amplifies intentions, and it connects the human spirit to the universal flow. And tonight, there are five things you need to know, because this portal is not something to overlook, it is something to align with. The first thing you must know is that the full moon brings clarity. In our daily lives, we are clouded by distractions, by responsibilities, and by endless noise. But the moonlight tonight cuts through illusions. It reveals what has been hidden, both within ourselves and in our external world. Many of you may feel sudden realizations, bursts of truth, or even uncomfortable awakenings. Do not resist them, for the full moon's light shines to help you see clearly. This is your chance to face the truth and release what no longer serves you. The second thing you must know is that emotions are heightened under the full moon. This is why people throughout history have associated the full moon with strange behavior, with passion, with chaos, and with intensity. But this is not something to fear, it is something to harness. If your emotions rise tonight, do not suppress them. Instead, allow yourself to express, to feel, and to transform. Cry if you must, laugh if you must, dance if you must. The emotional surge is not a weakness, it is a gateway. When energy is high, transformation is possible. The third thing you must know is that manifestation is most powerful under the full moon. If you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have visions you wish to see unfold, tonight is the night to speak them into existence. Write them down, say them aloud, meditate on them, or even whisper them to the moon. The portal is open, and the energy of expansion is at its peak. Your intentions carry extra weight tonight. They echo louder in the universe, and they magnetize toward you faster. The fourth thing you must know is that the full moon is a time of release. Just as the moon completes its cycle, we too must complete certain cycles in our lives. Tonight, ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? Is it fear? Is it toxic relationships? Is it self-doubt? Is it the pain of the past? The full moon is a cosmic reminder that endings are necessary for new beginnings. By releasing what burdens you, you create space for what is meant for you. Burn away the old energy with ritual, prayer, or even a simple moment of honest intention, and you will feel the weight lift. The fifth and final thing you must know is that the full moon connects us all. As it glows in the sky, no matter where you are on Earth, you are standing under the same light as billions of others. This is unity. This is a reminder that we are not separate, that the struggles of one are connected to the struggles of all, and that the dreams of one ripple into the dreams of the collective. The full moon is not just a light for you, it is a light for the world. And when you align with it, you are also aligning with humanity, with nature, and with the greater cosmic design. So, my friends, tonight as the full moon shines in its fullest glory, do not let the night pass you by as just another evening. Step outside, look up, breathe in the energy, feel the light wash over you. Remember these five truths: clarity, emotional transformation, manifestation, release, and unity. These are the keys to walking through the portal that is open tonight. This is your chance to align with the universe, to shed the old, to embrace the new, and to step boldly into the future that is waiting for you. The full moon is here, the portal is open, and the universe is listening. The only question left is, are you ready to step through? Would you like me to expand this into a 700-word version like your other speeches, or keep it short and powerful like this one? The full moon portal amplifies energy and opens spiritual gateways. It brings clarity, revealing hidden truths and illusions. Emotions are heightened, allowing deep transformation. Manifestation is strongest. Intentions carry extra power tonight. It is a time for release, letting go of what no longer serves you. The full moon completes cycles, creating space for new beginnings. It connects all of humanity under one shared light, reminding us of unity. The full moon has always held a deep sense of mystery and power for humankind, and when we say that the portal is open, it means that the universe is offering a heightened opportunity for energy flow, spiritual alignment, and personal awakening. Unlike the ordinary nights when the skies are dark or partially lit, the full moon stands as a beacon, casting its bright light across the earth and reminding us that cycles have reached their peak. The concept of the full moon portal being open is not simply poetic or mystical. It refers to the alignment of celestial energies that magnify human consciousness and sensitivity. Ancient cultures, spiritual traditions, and modern seekers all point toward the full moon as a moment of heightened awareness, where invisible barriers between the physical and spiritual worlds thin out, allowing us to tap into energy that is far stronger than usual. This is why rituals, meditations, and practices conducted during a full moon are said to be far more effective because the portal is open and receptive to what we put into it. When we speak of a portal, we are speaking of an energetic doorway, one that connects our earthly experience to something greater than ourselves. During the full moon, this doorway feels wide open, as if the moon itself is pouring down light, not only illuminating the night sky, but also illuminating our inner selves. The reason so many people feel restless, energized, or unusually emotional during a full moon is because they are subconsciously attuned to this surge of energy. Just as the moon pulls the tides of the ocean, it also stirs the waters within us, since the human body is largely made of water. The portal is not a physical door we can see, but an energetic phenomenon that we can sense when we pause, breathe deeply, and allow ourselves to connect with the moment. Those who are sensitive often describe feeling vibrations, tingles, or even a shift in their mental state when they stand beneath the full moon, because they are entering the frequency of that open portal. The opening of the portal also means that the intentions, emotions, and thoughts we project carry far greater weight than usual. The universe, in this phase, acts almost like a mirror, reflecting back to us the energy we radiate. If we focus on fear, doubt, or negativity, the portal amplifies those feelings, often causing chaos or emotional turbulence. But if we focus on clarity, love, healing, and purposeful intention, the portal magnifies those energies and sends them back with double strength. This is why traditions across the world encourage people to perform rituals of gratitude, forgiveness, or manifestation during the full moon. It is believed that the universe is listening more closely, and that the energies we send out ripple further, reaching corners of possibility that might otherwise remain untouched. Furthermore, the opening of the full moon portal is also tied to cycles of completion. Just as the moon has reached its fullest phase, so too in our lives we experience moments where things come to a head. This is why many people feel endings, shifts, or breakthroughs during a full moon. The portal being open makes it easier to see these patterns, to recognize what is done, and to prepare for what comes next. It is like standing at the threshold of a doorway, realizing that behind you lies the weight of the old, while ahead lies a chance for renewal. The moon's energy encourages us to step forward, to leave behind what no longer serves us, and to trust that the portal will carry us into a higher state of alignment. It is important to understand that the idea of the portal is not confined to one tradition or culture. It is universal. Native peoples held ceremonies under the full moon, believing it was a time to honor the earth and the ancestors. Eastern philosophies describe the full moon as a time of heightened meditation, where spiritual awareness is sharpened. Even modern science acknowledges the influence of the moon, noting how it affects tides, animals, and human behavior. The idea of a portal simply captures the essence of this universal phenomenon, that something shifts during the full moon, something invisible but undeniable, and it is up to us to align with it or ignore it. When you stand under the full moon and recognize that the portal is open, you become part of a larger rhythm. You are no longer isolated or detached from the cosmic order, but instead you become aligned with it. The light of the moon is a reminder that just as it reflects the sun's brilliance, so too can you reflect higher truths into your life. The portal is open tonight, and with it comes the chance to step into a flow of energy that is larger than anything we normally encounter in our everyday lives. When the full moon rises in the sky, one of the most powerful effects it has on us is the way it stirs our emotions, often amplifying them to levels we cannot ignore. This is why throughout history, different cultures have associated the full moon with heightened states of passion, unrest, or even madness, giving birth to stories of strange behavior and unexplainable feelings during this phase of the lunar cycle. The truth is, the moon exerts a profound pull not only on the oceans, but also on us, since our bodies are made mostly of water. Just as the tides rise higher during a full moon, so do the tides of our inner world, creating waves of emotions that are often stronger than what we experience on ordinary nights. This heightened state can feel overwhelming for some, but it is not meant to be feared. Instead, it should be embraced as an opportunity to release, to heal, and to connect with what lies deep within our hearts. During this time, unresolved feelings that we might normally push aside tend to rise to the surface. Some may feel more sensitive, easily moved to tears or laughter, while others may feel restless, anxious, or deeply nostalgic. The full moon acts like a spotlight, shining not only on the world around us, but also on our inner being, forcing us to confront emotions we may have tried to bury. This is why so many people find themselves reflecting on past experiences, relationships, or personal struggles during a full moon. It is as if the moon opens a doorway into the subconscious, urging us to acknowledge the emotions we have avoided. While this process can be uncomfortable, it is also deeply transformative because it allows us to finally process and release what we have been holding on to. The intensity of emotions under the full moon also creates a powerful opportunity for self-expression. At times like these, creative energy tends to flow more freely, whether through art, writing, music, or movement. Many artists and poets throughout history have been inspired by the full moon, channeling their heightened emotions into timeless works of beauty. For ordinary individuals, even something as simple as journaling under the moonlight or allowing oneself to dance or meditate can serve as a release valve for this surge of energy. Suppressing emotions during a full moon often leads to inner conflict, but expressing them, whether privately or openly, helps us to align with the natural rhythm of the universe. For some, this heightened state may also reveal the truth about relationships and connections. Emotions can clarify what is real and what is false, what is supportive and what is draining. Many people find themselves having breakthroughs in their personal relationships during this time, realizing what they need to nurture and what they must let go of. Because emotions are so raw and amplified, honesty flows more easily, sometimes leading to conflicts, but more often leading to necessary clarity. The moon's energy strips away pretense, leaving only the core of what we truly feel. It is also worth noting that heightened emotions during the full moon are not random. They serve a purpose. They act as a mirror, reflecting back to us the state of our inner world. If the emotions that surface are painful, they are pointing us toward areas of our lives that require healing. If the emotions are joyful, they remind us of what truly lights us up inside. Either way, the surge is a gift because it shows us what lies beneath the surface of our daily routines and distractions. By honoring these emotions instead of resisting them, we can gain insight into our own growth and transformation. Throughout spiritual traditions, full moon ceremonies often involve gathering in groups to release pent-up emotions, share intentions, or celebrate collective energy. This is because heightened emotions are not only personal, but also collective. The moon connects us all, and its light draws out energies that resonate across humanity. When we allow ourselves to feel deeply under the full moon, we also tap into a shared current of energy that binds us together. That is why so many people around the world feel a similar shift in mood or awareness during this phase. It is not isolated but universal. The full moon, therefore, becomes a reminder that emotions are not weaknesses but powerful gateways. They are signals from the soul urging us to pay attention to what we often ignore in our busy lives. The intensity may feel chaotic at times, but in truth, it is an invitation to let the heart speak loudly, to allow the soul to purge what is heavy, and to align more deeply with the truth of who we are. Tonight, as emotions swell under the glow of the full moon, it is not something to hide from, but something to embrace fully, because through this heightened state, we can find healing, clarity, and transformation that would otherwise remain out of reach. Manifestation during the full moon is one of the most powerful spiritual practices because the energy of the lunar cycle is at its peak. When the moon shines at its fullest, it is as though the universe itself is wide awake, listening closely to the intentions and desires that we release into it. Unlike any other phase, the full moon acts as a magnifier, amplifying whatever thoughts and emotions we project outward. This is why people across cultures and traditions gather under its light, meditating, praying, and setting intentions. It is not just ritual or superstition, it is a deep recognition that the full moon symbolizes wholeness, completion, and manifestation, a cosmic reminder that energy is constantly flowing and responding to what we put into it. At this stage of the lunar cycle, the moon's light is strong and unshaken, representing a moment of fullness and clarity. Just as the moon reaches its highest point of visibility, so too do our goals and desires have the chance to reach their highest potential. When we focus our minds and hearts during this phase, our intentions carry far greater weight than usual. Many people write down their goals or say affirmations during the full moon because they believe the universe will carry their words further and anchor them more deeply into reality. The practice is not just symbolic, it is a way of aligning personal energy with cosmic energy, creating a bridge between thought and manifestation. The process of manifestation under the full moon is most effective when approached with clarity. The moon's light exposes everything, leaving no room for hidden agendas or half-hearted wishes. This is why it is important to be intentional and precise about what we desire. Instead of vague wishes, the full moon invites us to speak clearly about what we truly want, whether it is love, abundance, healing, success, or inner peace. The portal of energy that opens during this time has the ability to magnify those desires, but it also magnifies our doubts and fears. If we hold conflicting energy, we may find mixed results. That is why grounding ourselves, meditating, and approaching manifestation with sincerity is so vital during the full moon. It is also important to recognize that manifestation is not only about material desires, but about spiritual and emotional growth as well. The full moon provides an ideal moment to manifest qualities within ourselves, such as strength, courage, patience, or forgiveness. In many ways, these inner manifestations are even more powerful than external ones because they shape how we experience the world around us. The energy of the full moon supports transformation on every level, allowing us to invite new states of being into our lives. When we align with this frequency, we are not only asking for what we want, but also opening ourselves up to the growth needed to receive it. Another reason the full moon is so closely tied to manifestation is because it symbolizes cycles. The moon has gone from new to full, from darkness to brightness, completing its journey of growth. This mirrors the way our goals and dreams evolve. By manifesting under the full moon, we are acknowledging that just as the moon moves through phases, so too do our intentions. What we plant as a seed during the new moon can bloom under the full moon, and what we manifest now can take root for the next cycle. This is why manifestation rituals often pair with gratitude, recognizing what has already come to fruition while calling in the next steps of growth. The energy of manifestation during the full moon is also collective. Just as billions of people see the same glowing orb in the sky, many of them are also sending out their desires and prayers at the same time. This creates a web of intention, a shared vibration that strengthens the full moon. Individual manifestations of each person, By focusing on love, abundance, and healing during this time, we not only call it into our own lives, but also contribute to the collective frequency of humanity. In this way, manifestation under the full moon is both a personal and global act. When we use the full moon as a moment of manifestation, we are not demanding the universe to deliver exactly what we want in the way we imagine. Instead, we are aligning ourselves with the flow of energy, opening up to possibilities that may surpass our own limited vision. The full moon acts as a reminder that manifestation is about trust, clarity, and surrender, not control. We set our intentions, we focus our energy, and we allow the universe to respond in its own divine timing. Tonight, as the full moon radiates in the sky, it offers us a rare chance to declare what we seek, to align with the cosmic flow, and to trust that the energy we release will return to us magnified. The full moon is not only a symbol of illumination and power, but also of release. Just as the moon completes its cycle, reaching fullness before beginning to wane, so too in our own lives we experience cycles that must come to an end. The full moon reminds us that release is not a loss, but a necessary step in making space for growth and transformation. When the portal of energy is open on this night, it provides us with an opportunity to let go of what no longer serves us, whether that is negative emotions, toxic patterns, heavy attachments, or painful memories. This process is deeply spiritual and symbolic because holding on to old energy prevents us from moving forward. By consciously releasing during the full moon, we align ourselves with the natural rhythm of endings and beginnings that the universe constantly displays. Release during the full moon often feels emotional because it requires honesty with ourselves. It means looking at our lives and recognizing what has become a burden, what drains our energy, and what stands in the way of our higher potential. For some, this might mean letting go of resentment or anger that has been carried for years. For others, it might mean breaking free from relationships, environments, or habits that no longer nurture growth. The full moon shines a bright light on these areas, making it harder to ignore them. It forces us to see the truth of what we are holding on to and challenges us to ask whether it truly supports our well-being. This is why many people feel a sense of heaviness before the full moon, as if unresolved issues are pressing against them, demanding to be acknowledged. The act of letting go can take many forms, and during the full moon, even small symbolic gestures carry great meaning. Some people write down what they wish to release on paper and burn it as a ritual, watching the smoke carry away their burdens. Others meditate, visualizing old energy leaving their body and dissolving into the light of the moon. Some simply sit in silence, breathe deeply, and affirm their readiness to move on. These practices are not just ceremonial. They serve as powerful reminders that release is an act of choice and empowerment. By declaring our intention to let go, we reclaim our energy and redirect it toward what truly matters. It is also important to understand that release does not always happen instantly. The full moon acts as a catalyst, creating the right energy for change, but the process of letting go can unfold gradually. Sometimes it begins with the recognition of what needs to end, followed by small steps toward separation and healing. What matters most is the willingness to begin, to surrender control, and to trust that the universe will support us in creating space for something new. In this way, the full moon becomes a gentle teacher, reminding us that cycles are natural, that endings are part of growth, and that we do not need to cling to what is no longer aligned with our journey. Another aspect of release under the full moon is the healing that follows. When we let go of heavy energy, we free ourselves from its weight, allowing lightness, clarity, and renewal to flow in. The portal of the full moon does not leave us empty. It clears away the old so that we can receive the new. This is why people often feel a sense of relief or peace after performing a release ritual or simply acknowledging what they are ready to move on from. The shift may be subtle, but it opens doors that were previously closed by the heaviness of the past. In releasing, we show faith in the process of life and allow ourselves to align more deeply with our true path. Ultimately, the full moon's call for release is a reminder that nothing in life is permanent. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, so too do our experiences, relationships, and emotions. By embracing this truth, we learn to let go gracefully instead of resisting change. Release is not about forgetting or erasing the past. It is about honoring it for what it taught us and then moving forward with gratitude. When we release during the full moon, we are not losing but transforming, creating the sacred space for the next chapter of our lives to unfold with greater clarity and purpose. The full moon carries with it not only personal lessons, but also a reminder of connection. For as it glows in the sky, it is seen by every human being on earth, regardless of where they stand. It is a unifying force, a celestial presence that shines equally on mountains, deserts, oceans, cities, and villages. The same light that touches you tonight is touching billions of others at this very moment, reminding us that we are part of something far greater than our individual lives. This shared experience is profound because in a world divided by borders, beliefs, and differences, the moon offers a silent reminder of unity, reminding us that we all stand under one sky. It calls us to remember that human beings are interconnected, woven into the same fabric of existence, and that our actions ripple outward, affecting more than just ourselves. When we stand beneath the light of the full moon, we are reminded that just as its energy influences us, so too do we influence one another. The heightened emotions, the powerful manifestations, and the releases we experience during this phase are not isolated. They feed into the collective energy of humanity. This is why group rituals, moon gatherings, or even shared meditations feel especially powerful under the full moon. When many individuals focus their intentions at the same time, the collective vibration rises, creating an energy field that is far stronger than what any one of us could generate alone. This is a beautiful truth about the moon's light. It binds us together not only through physical presence, but through energetic resonance, teaching us that unity is both a spiritual and practical reality. Unity under the full moon is also a reminder of our bond with nature. Just as the tides rise and fall in response to the moon's pull, we too rise and fall in rhythm with the cycles of the earth and sky. This rhythm is shared by all living beings, reminding us that humanity is not separate from the natural world, but part of it. The animals, the oceans, the trees, and even the winds respond to the moon's presence, and so do we. When we acknowledge this connection, we become more aware of our responsibility toward the planet and each other. Unity is not just an abstract idea. It is a lived experience that becomes undeniable when we consider how deeply the same forces shape every life form on Earth. The full moon also teaches us that unity does not mean sameness. Just as the moonlight touches everyone equally but is experienced differently depending on where one stands, so too does unity allow for diversity, while still emphasizing connection. Each person may carry their own struggles, dreams, and emotions under the moonlight, yet they are all held within the same cosmic embrace. This truth softens the walls we build between ourselves and others, reminding us that no matter how different our journeys may appear, we are ultimately walking through the same universal cycles. It encourages compassion, empathy, and understanding. For if we are all standing under the same light, then we are all equally part of its story. Another layer of unity revealed by the full moon is the reminder of ancestry and continuity. For thousands of years, our ancestors gazed upon the very same moon we see tonight, drawing meaning, guidance, and inspiration from its presence. They performed rituals, told stories, and aligned their lives with its cycles, just as we continue to do. This thread connects us across time, showing that humanity has always been bound by the same rhythms of nature and cosmos. The moon is a witness to our collective history, holding the memories of generations and offering continuity in a world that constantly changes. In recognizing this, we not only connect with those around us, but also with those who came before, forming a unity that stretches across time as well as space. The sense of connection brought by the full moon extends beyond human beings to the universal design itself. Its cycles remind us of balance, of endings and beginnings, and of light returning after darkness. These are truths that apply to everyone, regardless of culture or belief, making the full moon a universal teacher. By standing in its light, we acknowledge that we are a part of something infinite, that our lives are threads in a greater tapestry woven by forces far beyond our comprehension. The unity we experience in this realization is humbling yet empowering, because it dissolves the illusion of separateness and opens us to the understanding that we are never truly alone. When the full moon glows and the portal is open, it shines not just for one, but for all. It reflects a unity that transcends boundaries, beliefs, and differences, reminding us that in the end, we are bound together under one light, moving through shared cycles and held by the same vast universe. The cycles of the moon carry with them lessons about the natural flow of life, and the full moon is a striking reminder that everything we experience has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Just as the moon builds from a thin crescent into its fullest form, so too do the chapters of our lives expand, reach their peak, and then transition into something new. The full moon is the moment of culmination, the height of energy, after which it begins to wane and shift. In this way, it symbolizes completion and teaches us the importance of endings, for every ending creates space for a new beginning. When we acknowledge this truth under the glow of the full moon, we begin to accept that change is not something to resist, but something to embrace as part of our natural evolution. Completion is not always easy to accept because humans often cling to what is familiar. We hold on to relationships, habits, or situations even when they no longer serve us, simply because letting go feels uncertain. Yet the full moon shines light on the truth of cycles, showing us that nothing is meant to stay the same forever. Growth requires change, and transformation requires release. The full moon is like a mirror in the sky, reminding us to look at where we are in our own journey, and to ask ourselves whether we are holding on to something that has already fulfilled its purpose. This is why many people feel reflective during the full moon, thinking about what has ended in their lives and what might be ready to end now. The completion that the full moon represents is not a loss, but an invitation. It is the universe's way of clearing the path, urging us to prepare for what comes next. Just as the moon does not disappear after fullness, but simply shifts into a new phase, so too do our lives continue after every ending. Something else waits to be born, even if we cannot yet see it. The full moon encourages us to trust this process, to have faith that the closing of one chapter is the beginning of another. When we align with this rhythm, we stop fearing change and instead learn to flow with it, using each cycle as a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and growth. There is also a sense of balance within the message of the full moon cycle. It shows us that wholeness is possible, but it is not permanent in a fixed state. The peak of the full moon is beautiful and powerful, but it cannot last forever, nor is it meant to. This teaches us that moments of fullness in our lives, success, joy, love, or abundance, are to be cherished while they last, because they too will give way to the next stage. By recognizing the impermanence of each cycle, we learn to appreciate the present moment without clinging to it. The full moon thus becomes a teacher of gratitude, showing us that completion is valuable precisely because it is fleeting. In spiritual practices, this understanding of cycles is often used in rituals of reflection and renewal. People pause under the full moon to honor what has been completed, to celebrate victories, to acknowledge lessons learned, and then to release what no longer belongs. This act of honoring and letting go creates space for new energy to enter. Without closing one door, another cannot open, and without releasing what is finished, there is no room for the new. The moon cycle reflects this truth so clearly that it becomes a guide for how to live in alignment with the flow of the universe. The message of completion and new beginnings under the full moon is not limited to individuals, but applies to humanity as a whole. Just as personal cycles come to a close, so too do collective ones. Societies, cultures, and even the planet itself move through phases of growth, challenge, and transformation. The full moon reminds us that change is part of the greater cosmic order, and that endings are not failures but necessary stages in evolution. This perspective brings comfort, for it shows us that even when something feels like it is breaking down, it may simply be preparing for renewal. By reflecting on the cycles of the full moon, we learn to see our own lives with greater clarity and acceptance. We stop resisting the natural flow and start trusting it, recognizing that every ending makes space for something new, every loss prepares us for growth, and every closure leads to transformation. The full moon illuminates this truth with its light, offering us the wisdom to release, to accept, and to step forward with faith into whatever new beginnings await us. When the full moon shines brightly in the sky, it is not just a celestial event, but also a profound reminder of our connection to something much greater than ourselves. Its glow reaches every corner of the earth, touching mountains, oceans, deserts, forests, and cities alike, uniting all beings under its watchful light. No matter who we are or where we stand, the same moon gazes upon us, reminding us of the shared human experience and the vast universe that holds us. This connection is both humbling and empowering, for it shows us that we are not isolated fragments drifting aimlessly, but part of an intricate design that binds everything together. The full moon acts as a bridge, linking the visible with the invisible, the physical with the spiritual, and the individual with the collective. In moments like these, when the moon is at its fullest, we become aware that our lives are not lived in separation. Every thought, action, and intention we carry contributes to the collective energy of the planet. The full moon intensifies this awareness, magnifying not only personal emotions, but also collective vibrations. This is why gatherings, rituals, or even shared silent meditations during the full moon feel especially potent, because the portal of energy is open, weaving together the hopes, dreams, and transformations of countless souls at once. The light of the moon is impartial. It does not shine more brightly on one person than another. And in this equal embrace, we are reminded of unity and interconnectedness. The full moon symbolism also extends to the natural world. Its cycles govern the tides, influence animal behavior, and shape agricultural practices. In witnessing this, we are reminded that humans are not separate from nature, but deeply entwined with it. The same force that pulls the seas also stirs our emotions, demonstrating that the boundary between the external world and our internal world is thinner than we often believe. This connection teaches us respect for the environment and for the cycles of life, for what happens to the earth inevitably affects us all. Under the glow of the full moon, this truth becomes undeniable, and we begin to see that our actions carry weight beyond ourselves. This awareness stretches across time as well as space. The same full moon we witness tonight has been seen by our ancestors thousands of years ago. They looked to it for guidance, told stories about its mysteries, and performed rituals beneath its glow. Generations upon generations have found meaning in the same luminous face, and in realizing this, we connect not only with those around us, but with those who came before. The moon becomes a thread of continuity, weaving the past, present, and future into one unbroken line. When we look up at it, we are not just seeing light reflected from the sun, but a witness to human history, a silent observer of every triumph, every struggle, and every transformation across time. The connection the full moon offers is also inward. As it shines upon us, it encourages us to reflect on our own inner light, the part of us that is eternal and unchanging despite the cycles of change. The brightness of the moon can feel like a mirror, urging us to recognize the divine spark within ourselves that is connected to the larger cosmos. In doing so, we find not only connection with others and with nature, but also with the deepest truths of our own being. The full moon portal is open to this recognition, and when we allow ourselves to step into its energy, we align with both the outer universe and our inner universe at once. There is great peace in understanding that no matter how chaotic life may seem, the cycles of the moon remain steady. It rises, wanes, disappears, and returns, always consistent, always present. In this steadiness, we find reassurance that connection is constant, even when we forget it. The full moon serves as a reminder that unity is not something to strive for, but something that already exists, waiting for us to acknowledge it. It shines its light equally on all, inviting us to see beyond separation, to honor the bonds that tie us together, and to trust that in the grand design of the cosmos, nothing and no one ever truly stands alone. As we stand beneath the brilliance of the full moon, we are reminded that this moment is not just about looking at the sky, but about looking within ourselves and recognizing the cycles, the emotions, the manifestations, the releases, and the connections that shape our lives. The portal that opens tonight is an invitation, a sacred doorway calling us to embrace clarity, to honor our feelings, to set our intentions, to let go of what weighs us down, and to remember that we are all united under one light. The full moon is more than a celestial event. It is a teacher, a guide, and a reminder that we are part of something vast, powerful, and eternal. Tonight, as its glow touches us all, may we walk forward with renewed strength, open hearts, and the courage to step into the new beginnings waiting for us.